You still think he's worth $9 million by 8 years? Yeah, I mean, I think there's a chance they get him done for less than that. But if I get to, I wouldn't even call it July 1st because I don't want it to go that far. If I get to June 30th and Evan Bouchard is sitting there saying, I'm going to hold out, I'm not signing for anything less than 8 by 9, I still wouldn't have a problem with giving Evan Bouchard $9 million. Like, you got to look around the league and look at what other high-end premier offensive defensemen get paid. That's what he is. And listen, has he been plagued by turnovers this year? Has he been playing his best hockey? No.
But who has?
Well, who has, first off? Like, I don't think there's been nearly enough spoken about just how much Mattias Ekholm has cratered him this year. Mattias Ekholm has taken a significant step back.
Yeah.
And it's hurting Evan Bouchard. And I think you can go back and watch a handful of giveaways and plays where you don't like what Bouchard's doing with the puck. And who throws the puck into his skates 10 seconds earlier? It's Mattias Ekholm. Who's the one who doesn't get back to retrieve something quick enough? So now everyone's scrambling and the forecheck's on you. It's Ekholm. So people love jumping through hoops to defend Mattias Ekholm, and I get that. I love Mattias Ekholm. He's a great Oiler. He's embraced the city. Fantastic. I hope he signs another contract here and is an Oiler for, into his late 30s, because I think, again, positionally, all that, I think he could grow into a third pairing role really well. But people love jumping through hoops to defend Ekholm. It's always, is he sick? Is he hurt? What do we know? And, yes, again, granted, he's battled an illness. I know that. But people almost like doing this with the Oilers' star players, too. When McDavid's struggling, what is it? It's like, well, he's sick or he's hurt, right? When Nuge struggles, it's like he sucks ass. And how come no one ever, you pick and choose who you want the mistakes with. And for Bouch, I have no problem going 8 by 9, because if he would have had an unbelievable season this year, you would have been looking at $10 to $11 million to get that guy signed long term. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to bet on a guy who I've drafted and developed in Evan Bouchard that he is going to bounce back. And also, he's going to continue to get better. I have no problem going 8 by 9, because guess what? By year 4 of that deal, year 5 of that deal, 6 of that deal, he's making 7% of the cap.
Yeah.
It's nothing. That's the equivalent to signing a guy right now. What's 7% of $88 million? That's like a... Oh, God, Tyler, why'd you do this to yourself? That's like a $6 million defenseman right now. 6.3? I think it's 6.3. I'm not great at math, but I think it's 6.3. I have the stones to do it, though. That's all that matters. Keep swinging.
You could have said anything, and I would have believed you.
But, do you agree that Evan Bouchard right now is a $6 to $7 million defenseman? Absolutely. So sign him long term and bank on a bounce back so that when he's back to being a $10 or $11 million defenseman, which he was last season, that's what his value was last season. Sign him for 8 by 9. Few years from now, you're reaping the benefits of having a bargain. And listen, I understand what people are saying. Don't pay him coming off a bad year. He's not worth that much money right now, and all of that stuff. You were probably the same people who were sitting there going, when Darnell Nurse was up for his first contract and then his second contract, you were probably sitting there going, whoa, you can't give that guy $6 million right now. You can't give him $6 million right now. Then what happened? He exploded in a contract year. You had to pay him. And then he became overpaid. You have to take a risk if you want value contracts down the line.
You really do. And I think Bouchard's the type of player you have to be willing to take the risk on. I think when you look at his analytics too at 5-on-5, you'd be surprised, especially in post 60, how he's top 5 in basically every category. Most he's actually first. So he's not been awesome this year, but I think, too, when you look back and you go through those goals, and don't get me wrong, there's been some absolute blunders, but Bouchard's making probably 3 great plays a game to counter out his one mistake, and you would like that obviously to be cleaned up and not so clear and abrupt and end up in the back of your net, but I do think the upside with him is way too good to be well, we'll give you a bridge deal, Evan, for 2 years at $5 million per year, because he might accept it, and then you walk him to free agency, Close.
Yeah, he's getting close. I can double check on Puckpedia when he's UFA.
Whenever that would come up, he's probably going to be hey, you bridged me twice and then refused to pay me my money.
He has 2 more years of RFA eligibility. So, could you give him a 3-year bridge deal? Sure. It's probably going to cost you $6 to $7 million. Just pay the extra. And Ryan S. says if he doesn't improve, it's a risk. Okay, but I think we can all agree that this Evan Bouchard this year is floor. This is his floor.
Yeah.
I don't think he's capable of playing, from his skill level, I don't think he's capable of having a worse year than he's having right now, and he is still dynamite offensively. And again, he's going to bounce back. Also, How many times have we done it in the city where it's like, oh, this guy was a ghost in the playoffs. This guy was a ghost in the playoffs. Evan Bouchard's been the best defenseman in the Stanley Cup playoffs back-to-back seasons.
Yeah.
Pay him.
Yeah.
Deskra, Leon was a risk too. How many people roasted Chiarelli for signing that Draisaitl contract? It was like, he's only done it for one playoff. And then he became an absolute value for 6 seasons.
Yeah. Some players are worth a risk. And Bouchard's one of them. And I wouldn't trade him for the world. And maybe a bit of the world.
Listen, this is not maybe going to be a popular take, and this might sound dumb. I think sometimes teams get themselves into trouble when they fall in love with intangibles.
Yeah.
The guys I take risks for are talent. I bet on talent every single day of the week. And you can sit there and go, you know, like Janmark, oh, we love his effort, all this. And granted, that's a low risk. But like, he is a fourth line player in year 1 of a 3-year contract. And he's getting health bombed.
He's got a 10-team no-trade list.
And he's got a fucking 10-team no-trade list, which is bananas.
I want to know who's on that list. Winnipeg?
Yeah, like, where is Janmark? I don't know. Whatever.
I think they would say no.
Yeah. The rest of the league has a no Janmark list. What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.